Audience attention. Honor guard attention. Honor guard, forward march. Scout salute. Honor guard halt. Please cross and post the colors. Post the colors. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. 2. Honor guard, reform ranks. Honor guard, forward march. Honor guard halt. Audience at ease, honor guard at ease.
Good morning. I'm Chris Coley, proud Eagle Scout and mortgage loan officer with Elevations Credit Union and chairman for the 2021 Leadership Breakfast. Welcome to the 33rd annual Larimer Leadership Breakfast event. We hope to be back in person real soon. I want to thank you all for attending virtually and supporting our local scouting programs. If you'll please pause for a moment for the invocation led by Catherine Sconning from Troop 83G.
Would you all please bow your heads with me in prayer? God of grace and love, we come together virtually this morning, grateful for the callings you've placed on our lives to be leaders in Larimer County. No matter what shape that calling takes, government officials, civic leaders, scout leaders, health leaders, and other community representatives. We know that to serve others by sharing vision for a healthy community and then working to make that vision a reality is a privilege and not a right. And so we offer our thanks to you for this privilege, and we pray that we would exercise it to the best of our ability for the good of all in the communities we serve. We also lift up the leaders of our state and nation and the leaders of the world with whom our leaders interact. May they always put the common good ahead of their own ambitions, and may they serve with honesty, integrity, and a passion for bringing peace and justice to all in their care. Finally, O God, we give you thanks for the food and the messages we are going to hear to this morning. And we call upon you to be richly present with us and give us guidance as we spend this time together. In your holy name we pray. Amen.
Thank you, Catherine. Again, good morning, and thank you for being with us online today. I'm glad you each took time out of your schedule to attend virtually and be our guest. This morning, we are delighted to have with us former Denver Bronco Rod Smith. We'll be hearing from him very shortly, as well as randomly selecting participants to win Rod Smith's book, The Rod Effect, and a Rod Smith signed football. We'll hear about the scouting program in Larimer County, and then, of course, we'll be asking for your support. Look in the chat for how to give online. Let's give away our first book and football. Congratulations to Bob Eatman and Peter McGuire. All right. Now I'd like to recognize our Scout Executive and CEO, John Coleman, Jr. 35 years with the Boy Scouts of America and 10 years with the Longs Peak Council, as well as Kelly Mall, our Development and Marketing Director. Kelly has 23 years with the Boy Scouts of America and has helped lead this annual breakfast for 21 years. Thank you, Kelly. And of course, we'd like to also recognize Kent Downing, Boy Scouts of America Area 2 Director. I'd like to also introduce our council board of directors that are participating today online. Steve Olson, council president. Bill Emsley, John Carroll, Mary Donaldson, Ed Gosnell, Genevieve Huxley, Bill Kaufman, Matt Putman, Craig Rasmussen, Ron Schneider, George Stevens, and Michael Stratt. I'm going to give away another football and book at this point. Next book and football, Donna Herskind and Dr. George Lee. Congratulations. Thanks for attending. Now I would like to introduce our Eagle Scout for this year, Jack Killingsworth, Eagle Scout from Troop 286 in Wellington, Colorado.
Video. Jack's video. Hold on, Jack.
Hi, I'm Jack Killingsworth from Troop 286 in Wellington, Colorado. Scouting has taught me lifelong skills such as leadership, citizenship, camping, and survival skills. I'm most proud of how my community jumped in to help with my Eagle Scout project. 2 years ago, my parents bought a home in Wellington after living in Fort Collins. While it's not that far away, I was not thrilled about the idea, being away from my friends, many of whom were in Scouts with me. To make matters worse, Wellington's idea of a skate park was a concrete slab with a few horribly designed concrete bumps. My dad and I both have a passion for skateboarding. Over the years, we have enjoyed meeting new people, trying new tricks, and getting back up after you fall. My father and I started talking about building a skate ramp for the town of Wellington and how awesome it would be to make this a reality. I often thought about how kids and adults making new friends at the skate park. We started researching how to build a half pipe. My dad helped me draw the half pipe in AutoCAD, and we even built a scale model out of some materials from CSU. I took the model to a town of Wellington Parks and Recs meeting and shared with them my plans to build the skate ramp at Centennial Park for an Eagle Scout project. They liked the idea so much that they approved it and pushed it to the city council level. I had to meet with the town board and present my plan to the mayor and the city council, and they unanimously approved the project. Once I got approval from the city and the Longs Peak Council, it took about a month to get organized and another month to build it. I had several construction companies lined up each Saturday to donate materials and help build. Our dream was becoming a reality. We had G.H. Phipps, Swinnerton, and J.E. Dunn all come out and help build. Students from the AGC student chapter at CSU came out to help, along with some of my friends in scouting. By the third week, we had people in the community showing up to help, including a lot of kids. Collectively, the project took 430 volunteer hours. I had a pipe fitter show up who was working on the bank down the street. He wanted to donate some materials, which was perfect because we didn't have anyone to do the metal coping. Then, a welder in town showed up to volunteer to cut the pipe to length and pre-drill holes for the coping. Hensel Phelps Construction Company stepped up to help buy more materials to finish the ramp, and Hazelden Construction donated paint to coat the ramp. I'm really proud of my community and how it took a village to make this happen. We couldn't afford to get the expensive decking that most ramps use, so a member of the community went to the town of Wellington and asked them to step up and donate those materials. It was truly a community service project because it took a lot more than my troop and myself. The entire community came out to help. Now, when I pass by the park, the ramp is constantly being used. Kids aren't playing on the playground, they are skating the ramp. And it feels good to have made that happen. Especially in the last year, it has been great to see kids connecting outside and participating in healthy physical activities. On opening day, we had a group of semi-pro skaters from Fort Collins come out and give the kids in town a little show. It was great to see all of the support from the skateboarding community. Scouting has provided me with many opportunities to grow and learn. How to be a good leader, but also how to be a good team member. I have learned to be humble while teaching and learning from others. Scouting also has taught me that nothing comes easy. To reach your goal, you need to work hard and put in the effort. My Eagle Scout project showed me that I can accomplish a dream. I also learned that I can't do it alone, that there's a community of people that are willing to pitch in. I'm currently a sophomore at Fossil Ridge High School, and I plan to attend Colorado State University. I hope to pursue a career in construction management or as a professional skateboarder.
Troy Hammond, Town Mayor, here today, just visiting you to talk about Jack Killingsworth's project. This is a project that he did, upgraded our skate park for the town. About 2 years ago, Jack approached me and the trustees at the board and brought a mock-up of a model that he would like to done to do some upgrades to our existing skate park, which was in dire need of upgrades and construction. And he came with a mock-up model. We had no plans, and we directed him in the right position, in the right place, the Parks and Rec Department. And he came up, and this is what they came up with. His dad, John, and their friends and their volunteers and all kinds of construction professionals brought materials and expertise and manpower, and they produced this park and upgrades in a fairly short amount of time, I think it was. And it was fun to watch them do that. And the town is just very appreciative of what we have here. The park is loaded with kids every day. I drive into town every day and I see it, and they're just having a great time. We really appreciate what you did. This was part of his Eagle Scout project, and which he did, I don't know, about last year it was. I think he completed it. And what a successful project he brought. So this is an absolute great thing for us, and we really appreciate it.
Thank you, Jack. What a great program, great work, and a great project for our community. We thank you and congratulations. Once an Eagle Scout, always an Eagle Scout. We'd like to present this to you as a token of our appreciation. This time I'd like to recognize some people and organizations that have helped make this breakfast a great success. First, I'd like to recognize our corporate sponsors. These businesses have given a significant gift this year to our Larimer Leadership Breakfast.
Ed Carroll Motors, VW, Porsche, and Audi. UC Health. Bank of Colorado. Plant Moran. Shields. Brad and Diane Bischoff. Bill and Tracy Emsley. Elevations Credit Union. First National Bank. Fort Collins Auto Dealers Association. Great Western Bank. Harmony Private Wealth at Steward Partners, Michael Stratt. Hickson Manufacturing and Supply Company. Huxley CPA Consulting. Independent Financial. Livingston Real Estate and Development. Loveland Sertoma. In memory of Raymond and Blanche Magnuson. Markley Motors. Otter Cares Foundation. Frank and Karen Ramirez. Shirazi Benefits. U.S. Bank. Special thanks to BizWest Media and The Human Bean.
Again, thank you to all of our sponsors. We really appreciate your support. I think it's time to give away another one of Rod's books and a football. These go to Matthew Freeman and Alan Magnuson. Congratulations. This time I'd like to thank the members of the steering committee that helped put this breakfast together. Dave Armstrong, John Carroll, Chris Otto, Michael Shirazi, and Brian Watkins. This time I'd like to introduce John Carroll. John is the owner of Ed Carroll Motors, VW Porsche and Audi, and serves as a board member of the Longs Peak Council. John has a nephew, Ian McKeegan, who has recently earned his Eagle Scout Award. John has a son, Ben, who is a Life Scout and on his way to getting his Eagle Scout in Troop 119. John is a valuable volunteer in our community. Thank you, John.
Thanks, Chris. Before you go too far, can you come up here real quick? Just as a small token of our appreciation, we want to thank you on behalf of the Board of Directors for leading this effort for this breakfast this morning. Again, my name is John Carroll, and I'm proud to represent the Board of Directors of the Longs Peak Council. These are undoubtedly unique and challenging times. However, these are the moments that we prepare for in scouting. Being prepared is a lifestyle in scouting, and for scouts, past, present, and future. Be prepared, it's our motto. It's probably, if you think about it, one of the most recognizable mottos in the nation, one of the most recognizable brands, being prepared. This Scout motto means that we are always ready to help others, and we've been being prepared since 1910. Times like these are when Scouts and Scout leaders shine in our community. Our amazing Scout leaders have continued the program with whether it's virtual meetings, holding safe outdoor activities. We even operated a safe summer camp experience this year at the beautiful Camp Larimer Peak, by the way, on its 100th anniversary in scouting. Our mission is to develop character, integrity, and leadership in our youth. Let me just say those one more time. Our mission is to develop character, integrity, and leadership in our youth. And we do this with quality programming, outdoor experiences, which are so important these days, and service in our communities. We serve over 1,200 youth in the Longs Peak Council, and they are supported by 569 adult volunteer leaders. And in 2020, I'm proud to say 52 Scouts earned the highest honor in scouting. 52 Scouts earned their Eagle Scout. And I'm also proud to say for the first time ever, 5 of those Eagle Scouts were young women. We are very excited to continue to serve the entire family in scouting. This year, Scouts made masks. They hosted blood drives. They assisted first responders. They assisted healthcare workers. Scouts in our community donated over 10,000 hours of volunteering. That's the equivalent of $272,000 in volunteer labor. Scouts collected over 10,000 pounds of food for local food banks. These Scouts are making a difference, and they can't do it without you. I want to thank everyone who's participating this morning. We really appreciate it. As we put 2020 in our rearview mirror, we look forward to gathering and connecting in the near future. Longs Peak Scouting remains strong, and families can depend on us to develop our next generation of leaders. While COVID-19 kept us apart, scouting did keep us connected. All of this would not be possible without you, our volunteers, our donors, and our partners. Thank you for making a positive impact on the lives of these boys and girls in young men and young women on their journey through scouting. Thank you today for your investment in our youth. Chris?
Thanks again, John. And I have to tell you, as a proud Eagle Scout and father of 3 daughters, I am more than pleased to see young ladies earning their Eagle Scout in scouting today. Let's give away another football from Rod and a book. We've got Greg Harrell and Julie Riemann. Congratulations. All right, I'd like to talk now again about giving, but more specifically about the Colorado Child Care Tax Credit. I believe we've got a slide there. If you're not aware of the Colorado Child Care Tax Credit, it's a great opportunity to multiply the power of your gift. If you're not familiar, you'll find the information on the screen, as well as some links in the chat. The Child Care Contribution Tax Credit provides a valuable tax credit against a taxpayer's Colorado state income tax. The credit equals 50% of the amount of a contribution made to a qualifying Colorado charitable organization, and the Longs Peak Council is one of those organizations. Any gift of $200 or more qualifies for the Colorado Child Care Tax Credit. Please consider this when you're making your gift today, and as always, please consult your tax advisor. Let's give away another book and football here at this point. Got Susan Peterson and Peter Cast. Congratulations, guys. Did you know that it costs the Longs Peak Council $600 per year to provide services for just one scout? Your financial support is very important to the success of the scouting program. To reach our goal of $110,000, we're hoping for an average of $200 per person online today. I know many of you will want to give more than this, and some of you will give what you can. You can text to give by texting Larimer BRK to 71777. Again, that's Larimer BRK to 71777. You can also give online at bit.ly/donatebsa. Again, those directions are in the chat. Thank you again for helping to strengthen the scouting program here in Larimer County. Together, we can make a difference in the lives of the youth. Now the moment everybody's been waiting for. Rod Smith is a Denver Bronco and American football legend. He played 14 years in the NFL and retired with all the records for a non-drafted player. Just like his football career, Rod had to fight, claw, and scratch his way from the projects in Texarkana, Arkansas, to become a 2-time Super Bowl champion and soon to be in the Hall of Fame. Smith enjoyed a stellar career at Missouri Southern State University, finishing with conference records in career receiving yards and touchdowns. He also broke the school's reception record and was named first-team All-American his senior year. He was named Missouri Southern's Outstanding Graduate in 1994 after completing his collegiate studies with 3 business degrees. In 1994, Rod went undrafted but was signed by the Denver Broncos as a free agent. His first NFL catch was a last-minute 43-yard touchdown from John Elway in a 38-31 win against the Washington Redskins on September 17, 1995. In 14 seasons as an NFL player, Smith had 8 seasons of at least 1,000 receiving yards, was a starting wide receiver of the Broncos' back-to-back Super Bowl championships in 1997 and 1998, and was a finalist for the Walter Payton Man of the Year Award in 2004. After suffering a hip injury in 2006 and undergoing 2 surgeries, Rod announced his retirement from professional football on July 24, 2008. With 2 Super Bowls, 3 Pro Bowls, and a controversy-free career noted for professionalism, Smith left the Broncos as one of the most well-loved players of all time. In 2012, Rod was inducted into the Broncos Ring of Fame in his first year of eligibility for the honor on Sunday, September 23rd. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Rod Smith.
My first time wearing a suit in a year. I had to come up here and first of all, it's a lot of people to thank, guys. Thank you, John, so much for honestly you really changed my whole speech. No, you did, because you said something that really struck me. Is the motto of Scouts is to be prepared, and I think a lot of people weren't prepared last year. And like you said, the Scouts were prepared. So what I was going to talk about, I'm going to change it because I love yours better, right? And it really fits, though. It really does. Chris and Kelly, I mean, guys, these guys have years and years and years of service to the Scouts. There's Nicole, there's Andy, there's a lot of people that I would really, really love to thank. And it's hard because you don't get to get them all in the room. You know, to me, I'm more of a physical touch type person where you get them in the room, you thank people, you look them in the eye. Scouts teaches that as well. But I do have a few stories that I want to share. And guys, remember what this is really about. It's not about me. It's about scouting as a whole. It's about Jack. I love Jack's story. I wanted to make sure I got a picture with Jack before he left to do what he did as a young man, still in high school, and to get a skate park built in his city with, I said, dude, you did it with no money out your pocket. But he put in the work, he put in the time, and if you look at it, being prepared, one, congratulate him on the Eagle Scout, but for not just being prepared, but taking the initiative to say, you know, this is what we want and need in our city, and the city backed him, the administrators of the city backed him, they rallied around him. And the people in the community. You guys, you got everything that's done here today. You got to remember, and I'm going to share my story from 40 years ago about scouting, because it was something I wanted that I didn't get to get. I didn't get the chance to be a scout, and I really, really wanted that. So just remember that every donation, every dollar that you're giving, for one, you can write it off if it fits the criteria. I think it's like a couple $100. And you know what? Here's the thing. Guys, you might not have a couple hundred. It's fine. If you give 10, they're going to add it together. Somebody's going to get help. Somebody's not going to miss out like I did. And I missed out because of finances. And I'll just share that story with you real quick. About 40 plus years ago at school, it was Cub Scouts. I just figured this out. It wasn't Boy Scouts because they were they were all like 10. But the Cub Scouts would come to school and they would have on their uniform. And anybody in a uniform always stands out. They always stand out. And I wanted to know, well, what is that? What is this uniform? And you would hear them talk about what they learned at Cub Scouts. You'd hear about they're learning about stuff in nature. And you know, I grew up in as Chris was saying, guys, I grew up in the inner city in Texarkana and in the projects, so to speak, and there was no outdoor activities besides sports. You know, there was football, baseball, basketball, and that's pretty much it. It wasn't no hockey. It wasn't no indoor. You know, growing up in Arkansas, there's no hockey, anything. If it snowed, everything shut down, right? It just snowed a little bit. Everything shut down. And I wanted to be a Cub Scout. Just listening to those kids and how excited they were when they would come back from retreats and things that they did. And I'm like, why can't I get to do that? And I didn't realize how much it hurt, but it was because of money. We didn't have the money to be a scout. And I think he just said it, guys. And if you think about every single dollar that you give, it takes $600 just for one per kid. See, back then, it was just Boy Scouts. Now it's Boys and Girl Scouts. I watched some young ladies here today, as well as some young men. You know, they had to go back to school, unfortunately for them. Some of them actually are in physical school. They didn't have to do virtual school. And I one day want to come back to this event after 33 plus years, guys, of doing this, where we can do it and have a room packed with people and it's safe. And I want to thank the council guys for putting it together, still getting it done, right? They're prepared. That word is going to keep coming up in this whole speech about being prepared. And sometimes life will give you obstacles, guys, that you don't feel you're prepared for, but you really are. And I would see them in their uniforms, and they would walk with their head is up, guys, their shoulders were back, and these young men were proud. And I wanted to be a Cub Scout, and I couldn't because of finance or the lack of finances. And so, of course, I went on to do some pretty cool stuff. And studying over the last 40 years the evolution of scouting, I realized that I was still internally a scout. The stuff that they do and the stuff that they talk about in their creed and their oath, you know, integrity and courteous and kind, I do all that stuff. Always finding a way to give, right? Not trying to take. Now just imagine how our society would be right now, a whole lot better, if everybody adopted that. You don't have to be a scout, but it helps. And we want to help as many, especially in this northern Colorado area, guys. We want to get as many as we can to where the finances are not an issue, right? Because those, as you can tell from the men and the women who spoke today, the different donors that have, you know, you guys are seeing it on screen, we understand that. But remember, they're connected to scouting some way, somehow, either through their families or themselves. They're scouts, and you know what they're doing? They're prepared and they're giving. They're constantly giving. And they're looking for reasons to give. And that should be our society, especially after, guys, well, we've all been through it. Every year, I adopt a word for the year, and my word this year is empathy. Not sympathy, because we all went through it last year, but empathy means to understand somebody else's issues last year. You know, it was hard to watch, but it was also rewarding to see people break records last year, right? And I want to touch on that because this is indicative of my football career. Things don't go your way. You got to adjust. You know, not getting drafted. After all the accolades he mentioned from me in college, I still didn't get a chance to get drafted. You know, when you grew up in the projects, you went to a small college. Most of you guys probably don't even know where Missouri Southern State College. It was Missouri Southern State College when I went to it. It's Missouri Southern State University now. It was a Division II school in Joplin, Missouri. That is like I'll say my third home because I still have family and friends and people there who supported Rod Smith, the young man, when I first got there at 18 years old, scared to death, first time leaving home. And they taught me some values and things that I still carry with me today. I took those values and that work ethic from home, from my mom, Miss Lydia, and my family, my sisters and everybody, and I took those values to college. And then so a group of people, John Lance, God rest his soul, he was a scout. He was my coach. He taught me these same values. And I added those values to what my mom taught me, and I brought them to Colorado, guys, to try and make this beloved football team called the Denver Broncos, starting with absolutely nothing. And I can remember, guys, I brought everything I owned when I came to Denver. Everything. I didn't have a car. I had a trunk like a Foot Locker. You guys probably remember these things. Everything I owned was in that locker. And I told myself I wasn't going home. Somehow, some way, I'm going to make this football team and I'm going to stay here. And these are stories, guys, I haven't really shared with a lot of people. Even some of this stuff is not even in my book, right? But I wanted to make this football team. And I had to do everything. Like he said, prepare. You completely changed my speech because I had to be prepared from life itself to take advantage of that opportunity. And I never looked back. Most people don't know, guys, when we worked out in the offseason, it was voluntary. I went to 600 straight voluntary workouts because I wanted to be prepared in case they gave me a chance. Well, this was over my whole career, right? But the first year I had friends of mine who, they went to some of the bigger schools. They went to college at Nebraska and Notre Dame and Ohio State. Here's this guy from Missouri Southern. You know, here I was. What school you went to? Southwest Missouri. Where is this place? And blah. And they would dog me out for the school I went to. You know, I went to this small school and no one ever heard of. We didn't play on TV. We didn't have the scholarships and stuff like that. And I kept telling myself, you know what? I'm going to prove those guys wrong. Like life is going to deal you some obstacles, guys. And you're going to be, if you're prepared, you'll prove life wrong. You can become the success that you want to become. See, there's some kids right now, hopefully they're not watching this because they're at school. But then again, the fact that they're at school is probably online, so they probably are watching it on an iPad or something. Because in the 40 years from when I wanted to be a Cub Scout, the world has changed completely. Everything is, all this stuff is virtual right now. But guys, it really just was one of those things about perseverance and integrity and working hard. And I'll tell you this quick story, and I'll get into a little bit of the football stories. But I was working out one day. All my buddies on the team who were rookies like me, you know, we just trying to make it. Those guys left for the summer to go work out with their college coach. You know, they got these big facilities and these tens of millions of dollars facilities. Missouri Southern, well, our weight room was, that corner over there in this room, our weight room was about that big, right? Matter of fact, my bedroom at my house right now is bigger than my weight room was in college, right? So they prepared me very well. And it was crazy because I look back at it, I'm like, those humble beginnings were just the beginning. But you got to start somewhere, right? And I just remember the guys like, yeah, I'm going to work out with this coach and that coach and this coach. And I stayed. I said, I'm not leaving here until they run me out of here. I'm going to be like that old couch. In everybody's house right now, there's a chair in your house right now that somebody doesn't sit in that much, but no one will get rid of it, right? I wanted to be that for the Broncos. I wanted to be that piece of furniture that was there so long that no one knew. They knew not to touch it. Just leave it there. He's not bothering anybody. I wanted to be that guy, right? And so I was working out real hard. And I remember he works for the Broncos now. He left and came back, which was awesome. It's Ed Donatel. And I don't know if Ed read my book, but in my book is a story about Ed Donatel. Ed Donatel prepared me for success for the Broncos and in the NFL. I was working out. Some of his guys were gone. They gone to their college, and he said, "Hey man, I see you." I said, "What's up, coach?" He said, "Rod, I see you out there working every day." I said, "Man, I don't know nothing else." I said, "It's all I know. You open these gates, I'm gonna be here, right? Every day. You open these gates every day, I'm showing up every day." And he said, "Yeah, I see." He said, "You put money in your account." And here I am at the time, guys. I'm struggling. I guess you could say I'm struggling because I'm on the lowest end of the Broncos that you can be on. You know, I'm on the practice squad. I'm making $3,000 a week, which is a lot of money, but in the NFL, it's not a lot of money. Right? It's like there's the guy who cuts the grass, and then there's you, right? So that's where I felt, right? And the guy who cuts the grass is a friend of mine, so trust me, he made more money than me. That year, I promise you, he made more money. Ross was the guy, and he's awesome. But think about it. How do I know the guy who cut the grass? Because I studied every person in that organization so I could learn what does it take to stay. And guys, it was just crazy because he said, "Man, you put money in your account every day that you show up." I said, "Well, coach, where's the money?" I'm like, "Dude, I'm struggling." He said, "Trust me, every day that you come out here, you put money in your account, you don't see it right now, but one day you're going to deposit that check." And guys, that stuck with me. Here this is now, 20 years later. I still remember it. And I remember where I was sitting in the old weight room when he told me that. Fast forward about 3 years after that, I'm a starter. We win the Super Bowl, the first Super Bowl. I don't have a catch in the Super Bowl. Everybody's like, you should be upset. For what? My Super Bowl ring is the exact same size as John Elway's Super Bowl ring, right? He had a lot of passes. None of them went to me, but my Super Bowl ring is the exact same size. So I said, you know what, you have to call me Super Bowl champion from that point on, whether I call a pass or not. And here's a little trivia for some of you guys, especially you guys online. Hopefully you're laughing and donating at the same time. This is a new event called Laughing and Donating, right? But when Ed told me that, guys, it struck me in the chest. It hit me in the heart, because I said, okay, just keep working. Simon Fletcher taught me that too. I was in there working out, and Simon Fletcher came up. You guys know Simon Fletcher. He's a legend with the Broncos. And Simon's like, hey, young man, you going to make the team? I said, man, I hope so. You know, I know Simon Fletcher. I'm like, man, this guy's a legend. He's talking to me, right? Little old me from Missouri Southern. Hey, you going to make it? He said, I see you, young buck. I see you out here working. He said, you going to make the team? I said, man, I hope so. And, my head went down. This is what scouts teach you, to keep your head up. My head went down. And you can see I'm praying pretty much. I said, man, I hope so. No. No, you got to say you are going to make it. Literally, he made me say I'm going to make it. And he made me say it loud. It's kind of in a way kind of embarrassing, but you don't know any better. But he's a legend, so I'm going to listen to him. And he said, you got to say you're going to make it. You got to believe you're going to make it. And Simon made me say it, and I said it several times real loud. I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it. You know what? I made it. To this day, Simon and I talk about that. Whenever we have Bronco alumni stuff get together, I go to Simon and I give him a hug every time. And he's like, dude, why you keep doing that? I said, dude, you changed my life and you didn't realize it. But see, what if I wasn't ready to receive that information? What if I wasn't prepared for that moment to have him bless me with those words? Here's a guy I'm looking up to, and he's telling me he look up to me. Here I am, a low man on a totem pole trying to make it. We win the Super Bowl, the first Super Bowl. Then I end up getting a new contract. I remember giving Ed Donatel's kids money. I remember giving my strength coach kids money. I didn't have to give their kids money, but Rich Smith, who's Richard was our strength coach. He just worked with me every day. Every day I would yell and cuss him out every day. And he said, Rod, I'll see you tomorrow. Every day I would be so mad because he would just work me like crazy, right? I'll be hurting, I'm tired, I'm sweating, I'm on the ground after practice and staring up at the heavens like, dude, is it worth it? And I would yell at him when I go in there and take a shower after I calm down. He said, Rod, I'll see you tomorrow. And you know what? I would show up the next day and get punished again. And I would show up the next day, and then during the games, I was the one that wasn't tired in the fourth quarter. I was prepared. See, all that stuff was preparing me for success on the field, but it was also preparing me for success off the field. So then we go into Super Bowl 33, guys, the second Super Bowl. This one I caught some passes. I begged and pleaded, paid John some of my salary under the table. I said, John, if you don't throw me a football this game, I promise you I'm going to punch you in the face. Right? I didn't tell John that, so don't go tell John that way I said that. But if he probably wouldn't have threw me a touchdown and we'd have won, I would have been okay with it. But if we lost, it would have been bad. Right? I probably would have got kicked out of the NFL because I would have rubbed John up. But honestly, guys, the relationship we have with myself and John and Terrell and Shannon Sharp and Howard Griffith, we have this text group that's 20-some guys deep. And you talking about some laughs and some jokes. I wish you guys could be on there, but honestly, they're really, really vulgar. But it's so much fun because that's our way. We use text message because we can't physically get together, but we refuse to let the world stop us from getting together. And so it's just so much fun. But then come the second Super Bowl, guys, and I'll share this with you guys. I had an 80-yard touchdown catch in the Super Bowl. It's still the record. I think it's one of the top records in the NFL to this day. As an undrafted player, it's definitely a record as an undrafted player. But, guys, most people don't know we made that play up on the sideline. That play was not orchestrated. And the reason I tell that story is because of what you said earlier, John, about being prepared. How can the coaches in the biggest game, the last game of the year, change the play 15, 20 seconds before you run it? And you score an 80-yard touchdown because we were prepared as a team. See, that's what reminds me so much about when Nicole and the company were calling me about doing this, I said, I definitely want to do it because I wanted to be a Cub Scout. And if we can raise the $100,000 or whatever we want, hopefully we blow that out of the water. Hopefully more people can see this. Hopefully they can put it on replay where people can watch the parts that they need to watch and do the things that we need to do so we can help some kids, guys, so they don't have to go through. Honestly, I felt a little bit defeated and depressed at the time because I didn't know how to handle, as a 10-year-old, you want something so bad and you can't have it. And I understood the dynamics because I knew my mom couldn't afford it, right? See, maybe there's a kid who their parents can afford a little bit, but the council can come along and give them a little bit, right? So they don't have to feel that. You know, let's just be honest now, because I want you guys to understand this. When you're donating what it's really going to, guys, the kids handle things different than the way we handled it 40 years ago, 30 years ago, 20 years ago, 15 minutes ago, right? I'm just my personal take, because I have grandkids now. I have 5 grandkids. I have a brand new granddaughter that I haven't saw because of COVID. She's, almost 4 months old. I haven't saw her. And, but my grandsons, I got 4 grandsons and a granddaughter, and there's nothing I wouldn't do to protect them from the future of uncertainty, you know? Sometimes it requires a little bit of money. But if you listen to what John was saying, how many, I think you said there's over $200,000 of voluntary hours that people put in place. What Jack did with the people in the community coming out and donating to help to build a skate park. And you notice every time they pass by, they say, he'll have that for the rest of his life. He'll have that moment for the rest of his life that I put that together. There's kids 10 years from now will be on that skate park and don't have a clue that the guy who's probably skating there with him actually started it. But see, that's a milestone in his life that no one can ever take from him. He's an Eagle Scout. He's prepared, right? So Super Bowl 32 ended pretty good. We won back to back. I had 5 catches for 152 yards at the half. I thought I was going to win Super Bowl MVP. Didn't happen. I wanted to go to Disney World, because you know you always see that, right? We all got these crazy dreams. I'm not the only one. Don't act like I'm the only one that got some crazy dreams, right? We don't have as many people in here that would have been if it would have been normal, because I think it's like several hundreds of people, guys, usually at this breakfast. Of course, we had to do it virtually, so we don't have the people that we normally would have. But I wanted to go to Disney World. I wanted to say, hey, I'm going to Disney World. Matter of fact, they make you sign a contract, too, that if you win Super Bowl MVP, you got to say, I'm going to Disney World, and they take your whole family, and they pay for all this stuff. I wanted to be on, I don't know which show was popular then, but you know, whether it's Letterman or somebody, because whoever Super Bowl MVP went on those shows, and I'm thinking, man, this might happen for me. And of course, John Elway wins Super Bowl MVP. Every catch I got, he got a completion. Every yard I got, he got the yards. And then he threw the second half. He never threw me the ball after the first half, so I was kind of mad, I'm not going to lie. Sharp, and for some reason, Eddie McCaffrey wanted catches too. And I'm like, dude, I'm open, like, all day, right? I was saying the stuff Shannon would say and even throw Shannon the ball. But, guys, I just wanted to share a couple of those stories. And I know Chris is going to come back up and kind of do some other things. But I want to say this, because the council don't know I'm about to do this. So whoever our individual donors are from the virtual, whoever the number 1 person is, whoever that is, I don't know what you put in so far, if you want to put in some more, but whoever that person is, after the winter, remember that, after the winter, I'm going to come back and I want to go to dinner with that person. Whoever that person is and their family, their immediate family, they don't know I'm doing this. I'm doing this on my own because I want y'all to donate a little bit more, because you don't know who's in the lead. I don't know if y'all have a chart. Do people can see who's on top? So somebody might throw an extra $10 or $20 or $100 or $1,000 or whatever on top. But so council, make sure at the end, whoever that person, the number 1 donor is, I want to take them to dinner. Or we can do lunch or something like that. If they live up here up north, I'll drive up here. If they live in the Denver area, of course, we'll do it there. But we'll go to somewhere fairly nice. And I just want to, I'll sign some other things for you individually, for you and your family. And I just want, I really, really want, because of the conditions that we have, to put it together anyway, it's been special, but I really want us to make sure we can have just one more kid. See, the good thing now is male and female. To see some of these young ladies become Eagle Scouts, and but that's our world now, guys. That's our world. It's different. It's a mesh. But if we're prepared and we all work together, we can accomplish anything. And so I want to end it with that, but the council will let me know, and they'll whoever that top person is. So go ahead and throw in another $5. You might win, right? It's going to be cool dinner now. Trust me, it's going to be fun too. I'm not going to have on a suit. I can promise you that, right? This is the first time I wore a suit. I didn't even know if it was going to fit, right? So I've been trying to get my workouts in my basement because you can't go to the gym, right? So I got equipment in my house. So, but thank you guys again. It's been so fun, and I can't wait till we can get all the people back together and we can all hang out and hug and talk without these things on. And trust me, you're not the only one mad about masks. None of us want to wear them. But right now we got to do that to be safe. But thank you guys again. Hopefully you enjoyed it. And don't tell John that way if he didn't throw me the ball, I was going to punch him, because I was thinking about it. All right. Thank you guys.
Rod, thank you. All your talk of being prepared, I was totally unprepared for your generosity, and I thank you. Our committee thanks you, and I know the Longs Peak Council thank you for your amazing generosity. Thanks for spending some time with us today. I want to thank everybody for attending virtually this morning. And special thanks to Steve Smith and Madwire for helping us with the live video. I want to especially thank our donors, our table host, and again, the breakfast committee. I think with Rod's challenge there, we've bumped up our donations already this morning. I know that we are well over $60,000 donated so far. So we are well on our way, and I appreciate you all for helping us. We will continue to reach out to you for donations. The link will stay live, so you can donate there for a while. We'll keep that up for quite a while. But also, if you want to send in a check, please contact Kelly Mall. Her contact info is in the chat screen as well. Thank you again, everybody, for attending the Larimer Leadership Breakfast of 2021. Rod Smith, thank you again for spending some time with us. And I know that if you had the opportunity to be in scouting and we're an Eagle Scout, your draft status would have been a lot better. And the suit looks good. My Boy Scout uniform won't fit me, so you're looking good. Thank you all again. Have a great day, and we hope to see everybody in person next year. Thank you.